Alright guys, if you don't know who I am, my name is Shook. I make videos for NBA. I'm thinking about making videos for XFL. If that's something you guys are interested in. I personally never played XFL before. I played USFL, I play NFL preseason, stuff like that, but I have all the time in the world to do the research, stuff like that. So if you guys want some XFL stuff, let me know. I can completely dive into that and just research stuff all day long. Let me know. But yeah, I'm sure I can make videos for NBA. All these videos get posted on this subreddit right here called DF Sports. You can find my post. My username here is Shook. I post updates with all the news that comes out. Unfortunately, today there was just no news. There was no news, so didn't make any updates. You can talk strategy here. People ask me questions, always respond to stuff like that. Great place to be, in my opinion. Check that out. If you ever need to get a hold of me, you can get a hold of me on Twitter at ToryLangley1992 if you need like inquiries, stuff like that. Question. I don't even know what inquiries means, but if you have any questions that you don't want publicly to be seen, or if you just need help with anything, feel free to message me on Twitter. I'll always respond to you. So mistakes were made. Mistakes were made tonight. Some big mistakes were made. Um, so here's the thing. I had Malcolm Brogdon as a core play. I had Derek White as a core play. I had Grant Williams as a core play. And I had Damian Lillard as a core play. And can we talk about this? Joe Mazzola on why Robert Williams only played 13 minutes. No reason. Was it matchup related? No. He never comes off the bench. That's not true. Not since he got off a minutes restriction. Yes. So what was the purpose of the change? Just felt like making it. Alright, man. Alright. So when they rolled that lineup of Mike Muscala and Blake Griffin, I was like, okay, they're completely punting this game. There's no way this game stays close. Obviously, Boston was absolute chalk. Chalk. I thought it was pretty fragile chalk once we got that lineup. Mistakes were made. Milwaukee is just their G League team, I guess. They can't even beat the G League Boston team. Like Sam Hauser, Summer League legend, like played him in Summer League, but like, come on, man, come on, Grant Williams, like these guys, unbelievable, and the game goes into overtime. So I told everyone in Discord. By the way, Discord link will be down below. I told everyone in Discord. I was like, I'm going risky tonight. I'm getting different. I'm fading most of Boston because I think that chalk is very fragile, which I still agree with to this very second. But only play this core if you like to burn money on fire. So I gave a core that was in my lineup, and I made everyone know if you want to burn money, and if this Boston game stays close, that you are just not going to win. So luckily, people did still win. I'll go over that in a second because of play in the core. But and I told everyone if you like money, go with the original core of Derek White, Malcolm Brogdon, Grant Williams, and Damian Lillard. Once I got that lineup of Mike Muscala starting, I was like, okay. Like I said, I think that the chalk's pretty fragile. So I thought it was pretty good and pretty sharp, in my opinion, to get away from that chalk. So the core that I went with in my lineup that people had to choose from if they wanted the Boston core or my core, I went with the Acapurtle as a core play. If you watched my video yesterday, I was extremely high on Acapurtle. Played 37 minutes tonight. I was extremely high on him if you watched my video yesterday. So Jakob was a core play. Jordan Poole was a core play. Those two absolutely smashed. Damian Lillard was a core play. He absolutely smashed. And then I made Peyton Pritchard a core play, and that was just a mistake. So yeah, but let's fucking go. But yeah, still really good nights in the Discord, like $35 into almost $1,000. Just good to hear. Good to hear. Even with fading the Celtics, people still had a really good day. Like, if that game just blew out, it could have been absolutely massive. Like, it could have been insane. Like, look at all these lineups that are fading the Celtics, and everyone's still having great days. This Vandal, first place there, over there. More cashes. Nice second place there. J-Ruck is the guy that makes the thumbnails for this video, so thank him. Congrats to him. Nice little second place there, but you get the point. I thought Boston was fragile. Mistakes were definitely made. You live and you learn. Can't do anything about it. And Bradley Beal is absolutely redacted. So I actually had Kyle Kuzma here, and I actually had Kevin Huerter here. And if I kept both, I would have cashed. So made a terrible swap there. All right, let me take a sip of water, and we'll go over this 10-game slate for the 15th. All right. All right. Sadly, this game looks pretty good. Two teams that don't play defense, two teams that play fast. So sadly, I have interest in Keldon Johnson for GPPs. This guy has caused me incredible amounts of pain, but now the price is down. Fast-paced matchup. These teams don't play defense. I like Keldon Johnson for GPPs. Zach Collins, I still think is a pretty good play at 5.1K. Charlotte is horrendous against big, so like Keldon, like Collins, I think Sochan is perfectly fine in the mid-range. Minutes haven't been as good of late, but solid point per minute guy. Branham probably plays mid-20s minutes. No issue if you want to go there. Katie Bates-Diop, kind of the same thing. I do like Devontae Graham, though. They're playing him pretty big minutes off the bench. So if we're going to continue to get mid-20s minutes of Devontae Graham, he is too cheap. So I think Graham looks like a pretty good value. And that'll do it for the Spurs. I'm going to make this video pretty quick, guys. I absolutely love LaMelo for GPPs tomorrow. He's playing huge minutes right now. Spurs are just absolutely awful. The only thing you have to worry about is the Spurs might be just so bad that the terrible Charlotte Hornets could possibly blow them out. But other than that, I think it's a really good spot for LaMelo. So I like LaMelo a lot for GPPs. I don't even hate Rozier at 7.5K. I think that's fine. PJ, no. Gordon Hayward, if you want to ride the hot streak, go for it. But no McDaniels. He's just going to play huge minutes. So I have no issues with Gordon Hayward. I think Mark Williams is still fine at 5.3K. That looks solid to me. Good point per minute guy as long as he can stay out of foul trouble. I'm not going to go to anyone else, though. Let's move on to Chicago. So DeMar is out. We have Alex Caruso questionable, so it's a good spot as well. I think Vooch, Levine look like two of the better mid-range plays on the slate. These two guys are going to have to do everything for the team. So I like Levine. I like Vooch quite a bit. Patrick Williams doesn't really change much for me. The guards, they're okay. Like Ayo, Kobe, Caruso, they all get a boost. Kobe, the better point per minute guy between the three, but he'll play less. Ayo just middling. Caruso just middling. But they would be all in play as well. But if we get a situation where Caruso's out, then you're probably going to have to play Ayo and Kobe pretty big minutes here, and I think both would be pretty solid value plays. So definitely some things to like on Chicago. On the Pacers side, we have to monitor news here with Miles Turner. He is questionable. We also have Daniel Tice questionable as well. If everyone's in, it's probably just Halliburton at the top for me. Like Miles Turner is an okay contrarian play, but I'd probably be off everyone else. But if Miles Turner is out, Daniel Tice would be playable. I don't know if I'm saying his last name right. I never get it right. But in the situation that both Turner and both Daniel are out, then Isaiah Jackson, I think, starts at the 5 and becomes an amazing value play at 3.6K. He would look great. And then Jalen Smith, whereas he at the Flatman would get the backup 5 and I think would be a solid value play. So keep an eye on the bigs for the Pacers. That's definitely some news we have to keep an eye on. So tough matchup here for Detroit. Not much stands out to me, I will say. James Wiseman, I have in the past seen that they are going to start him here, and he's available. So if James Wiseman starts at 3.4K, I think he looks amazing. Good point per minute guy, starting center at 3.4K. We know what he can do fantasy-wise, so I think if they start James Wiseman, I'm probably going to be playing him. So I really like Wiseman. If he starts, I think he's still fine off the bench, but would definitely like him to start. And then I'm probably not going to go to anyone else on Detroit. This team's just hard to break down right now. We have Tatum questionable. We have Smart likely to play. We have Al Horford questionable. It's just really hard to break down right now. If everyone's out, that was out today outside of Marcus Smart because he's going to play. Then, like, I think Derek White's still playable even with Marcus Smart in. Not a smash, but still solid. Marcus Smart's going to be on a limit, so hard to go there. Robert Williams came off the bench. We'll see if they start him or not. I have no idea, but if it's just impossible to break down right now. With Marcus Smart back, I'm probably going to be off Brogdon at that price tag. Grant Williams, if Tatum's out, I still like for value. He gets a huge boost with no Tatum, and they're gonna ask him to play like 40 minutes. So I like Grant Williams for value if Tatum's out. And then if we'll see what they do with the starting lineup. It's just a wait and see right now. And then if I don't know if they're in, then it's probably just Tatum at the top for me. Not much else. So wait and see approach there with Boston. Let's move over to the Knicks. So this team's pretty unappealing to me. Like Randall Brunson, they're going to play huge minutes. RJ Barrett's minutes have been down, so don't play him. Brunson's been their clear number one right now. He's been phenomenal. So if you want to go there, I wouldn't hate you for it. Doesn't really stand out to me. Same with Randall. Quickly, Hartenstein, Sims, they're going to split the center minutes. No thank you. So, Knicks, pretty boring team to me on this slate. On to Atlanta. Same kind of thing here. Like, Trey, fine GPP play. Really tough spot here. Same with DeJounte Murray. The Knicks are really tough against opposing bigs, so it's hard for me to go to Capella. Collins, no. Hunter, no. Like, I don't know, man. If Collins is out again, they started Sadiq Bey, but he didn't play much. Like, hard for me to prioritize him. So yeah, not much on the Atlanta Hawks. Let's move over to Miami. So we have Harrow out, Oladipo out, Kyle Lowry out. It's pretty good spot. Or actually, no, Brooklyn has pretty good defenders now, but I still think it's fine actually. But no Harrow, no Oladipo, no Lowry. They're going to run a pretty tight rotation here. We do have Duncan Robinson possibly back, but I don't think he'll play much. So Bam Adebayo, Jimmy Butler, they're going to have to lead the way offensively. I think both look pretty good to me. I do prefer Butler to Bam. Strus, Gabe Vincent, these guys are going to play close to 40 minutes as well. I think they're both pretty good plays. I do prefer Gabe to Strus, but both have Gabe has a higher floor. Strus definitely has a higher ceiling, but I think both are pretty good plays. Caleb Martin will play mid-20s minutes, fine option. Don't love it. And probably not going to go to anyone else. Yeah, I don't think I'll be going to anyone else. Brooklyn, this team's just gross. Tough matchup as well, so I'll probably just be crossing off Brooklyn. And this game's a complete cross off to me as well. You have two good defensive teams going up against each other. Just a disaster recipe for DFS. So Mitchell, Garland, Mobley, Allen, no thank you for me on the slate. Philadelphia, really tough match for Embiid, so I'll probably pass. He's going to play, so there's no reason going over it, assuming he's out. So I will say Tyrese Maxey, his minutes have been way up of late. So if we get like 35 minutes of Tyrese Maxey, that does seem a bit too cheap. So some interest in Maxey, but I don't really like anything else on the Sixers, given the matchup. So on to Houston. So this game looks pretty good DFS wise. Really good match for Sengun. He's had two bad games, but you have to look at who he has played against. He's played against the Sixers, really tough spot. He's played against Miami, really tough spot. Now he has a cupcake matchup against the Oklahoma City Thunder. So I like Sengun at sub 8K. Probably going to be low owned. I think he makes for one of the better center options on the slate. Jalen Green has a ceiling if he's hitting his shots. I like this game environment, so I like him for GPPs. KJ, Jabari, they just seem safe. Tari Eason, no. Tate, no. So, yeah. Basically, Sengun and Jalen Green for me. And then, how many times is Houston and OKC going to play? I feel like these guys play each other like every week. But, yeah, sign me up for some SGA in a really good game environment for him. His drives are just absolutely insane right now. So I like SGA. I think he doesn't rank as like a top spender for me, but definitely right there with them. Like LaMelo, SGA, Jokic. They're probably my three favorite spenders on the slate. So like SGA quite a bit. Giddey, I think it's a good spot for him as well. I wouldn't hate you if you wanted to go to him, but I feel like the ceiling lacks a little bit. Jalen Williams, his minutes are way up. No issue paying this price for him if he's going to continue to play these big of minutes. Dort's minutes limited as coming back, so hard to go there. And then it's just hard to go to anyone else. On to Utah, so pretty tough spot here. No one marketing for me. Clarkson is overpriced. Walker Kessler's minutes are up and down. They bench him at times. He can never stay out of foul trouble, so tough sell for me. But if he can stay out of foul trouble, he can definitely pay off that price tag. Colin Sexton will play about 30 minutes starting at the point. I feel like that price is still a little bit too cheap. So I think Sexton is solid. Kelly Olynyk had a masterclass game last game. Seems priced about right to me. The THT fish were punished, so that was good to see. And I'm not going to go to anyone else. Let's go over to Memphis. So good spot here, but John Morant's going to rank pretty low to me, which means he'll be very, very low owned. So he's in play for GPPs. But with Desmond Bane in this offense, I just feel like the ceiling is meh. I think SGA, I think LaMelo just look a little bit better. Jaren, no. Bane, no. The bigs, no. Yeah, pretty unappealing team on this slate. And then more unappealing teams. Like, it's hard to pay this price tag for Luke with Kyrie in the offense. It's hard to pay this price for Kyrie with Luka in the offense, even though they both paid off their price tags last game, kind of. So they're just more contrarian plays to me. Christian Wood, just get rid of this guy already. Just get rid of him. Can't go there. Tim Hardaway Jr. is questionable. If he's out, maybe you can consider guys like Josh Green, who I think would look better. He's playable regardless, but would look better if Tim Hardaway Jr. is out. I don't know. Not much, really. If I were to play anyone, it'd probably be Josh Green, maybe one of Luka or Kyrie, but yeah, not much on Dallas. I think Jokic looks amazing. I don't know why other spend ups are in the like 12-5 range, but Jokic is 11-8. It just doesn't make sense to me. Him and Giannis have the highest floors out of anyone in DFS with the two highest ceilings out of anyone in DFS, so I don't understand why he is still not priced with them. It doesn't make sense to me. It's a really good spot as well for bigs. So Jokic, I think, looks amazing. I pray to God Murray and Gordon play so I don't have to keep losing money with this guy. It's just, if Murray and Gordon are in, Murray's a fine GPP play. Gordon's definitely overpriced. MPJ would be overpriced. But if they're both out, unfortunately, Bruce Brown is going to be in play. He's had big games when he's been in that point guard role, starting point guard role. So he still does have a ceiling, but been very, very underwhelming of late. But still a solid play, in my opinion. You'll get Cancarp starting, probably plays mid to high 20s minutes. Fine value. Not in love with it, but fine. Is Schmidt look at the backup point? Probably plays teens minutes. Don't think we need to go there. So, yeah, that'll do it for Denver. On to the Pelicans. So, really, really good spot here. We also have CJ McCollum questionable. So, I like Ingram either way. I don't understand why he only played 32 minutes last game. Don't get that at all. But I think he goes back to his normal minutes here, even if CJ's in, the usage is just absolutely insane on Ingram. So, I still think he's a solid play, even if CJ plays. And then if CJ is out, I absolutely love Ingram. Jonas Valanciunas, I think, is a good GPP play, just because he has that high ceiling, and if he gets the minutes, he can absolutely break the slate. So I'm always interested in Jonas Valanciunas. And then I'm not going to go to anyone else, but if CJ is out, then I think Jose Alvarado starts at the point, probably plays around 30 minutes. He would be one of the better value plays on the slate. And then they play Josh Richardson a bunch at 3.9K. I think he would be a solid value as well. So keep it on the CJ news, and let's move on to the Lakers. So LeBron, they're both going to play. I believe LeBron's been out, right? Yeah, he's been out. We'll see. If LeBron doesn't play, then I like AD, even though he's been horrible. Not much. Like Schroeder. Why am I on Russell saying Schroeder? Schroeder, not much. It's just 80 or bust for me on the Lakers, I think. Beasley's not playing enough. Vanderbilt's not playing enough. D'Lo, I think, is overpriced. They're running such a weird rotation. So, yeah, just 80 or bust. And then if LeBron's in, that just makes everyone look even worse. So, sorry for the quick video, guys. I need to get to bed. I have to get up early tomorrow. And I hope you guys had a good night. And I will talk to you all tomorrow.